All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders for the millstone. Teach very well. Why not this truth from me? Salutation. Salutation out there to the hopeful elect who continue to push this word in our truth, faith, and sincerity. And also, Shalom to all the men, women, and children who sincerely believe upon the words of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Today, man, just basically getting on the Lord glorifying his name, through destruction. Because again, yes, Yahweh Shemashah, he can glorify his name through miracles. He tried that, but the people still didn't listen. Glorify his name even through natural disasters, and people still didn't listen, man. So this time, Yahweh Shemashah is going to have to glorify his name through judgment. And this is how the planet Earth is going to get ready to know Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, man. Let me go ahead and get this because at the end of the day, like Apostle Rumla said, Christianity had, messed these people's minds up, man. Instead of you knowing who is the true powers of heavens and earth. Let's get this in Jeremiah 9:24. It says, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me. And right now, a lot of these people, they don't get the Lord, man. And that's the reason why people are so fulfilled in their lust. Not even the lust to just pop some, the lust to eat. Niggas lusting to be right, lusting to be deep. Not knowing that you have to understand the Lord first to be deep, man. But let's get this real quick. It says, but let him that glory in this. So if you want to glorify some, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am the Lord, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith the Lord. So the Lord, he exercised loving kindness by giving us this true judgment and righteousness, man. Because a part of that judgment and that righteous judgment is the Lord putting down these people who for so long ignored him, man, and refused to get to know him the right way. You can't get to know the true powers of heavens and earth through Christianity. You can't get to know the true powers of heavens and earth through Buddhism, or Islam. You know what I'm saying? Or even calling upon the name JC. No, that's going to ultimately lead until the Lord bringing forth judgment upon you. And like it's written about in the scriptures, it says, wicked men understand not judgment. So let's go ahead and get this started off with Jeremiah, St. John 12 and verse 28. Father, glorify thy name. Then came down a voice from heaven saying, I have both glorified it and will glorify it again. The Lord glorified his name back in Egypt. And what did happen in Egypt? Was it all hugs and kisses? Did everybody get saved? The Gentiles come in? No. Yahweh Shemashah actually killed off some of his people in order for us to go into that righteous land. And again, throughout the years and the centuries and the millenniums that passed, people have forgotten about the true powers of heavens and earth. The same power who bruised his own son. So why would you think in this lifetime that everything is going to be so, love and hugs and kisses, man? Let's go and get this in Sirach 36 and 1. Have mercy upon us, O Lord, power of all, and behold us. And send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee. And the part of the nations that seek not after thee is even talking about the 2/3. That's a whole nother nation. And the reason why they don't fear the Lord, the fear of Yahweh Shemashah is not in them. They actually fear Esau more. It says, lift up thy hand against the strange nations and let them see thy power. And the Lord have been doing it. Even the earth fighting back through natural disasters, and even then niggas say, yeah, well, Esau, you really can't give Esau that much credit because it's Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai who's going to be sending forth these plagues. A lot of times Esau try to push forth these different things. It don't work. And sometimes they do because the Lord, he the one that signed off on it. But just imagine once the Lord looked up his hand against these strange nations, man. And how he's going to do that is going to be through the missiles. We can already see the economic collapse. We can already see the upcoming famines that's coming. We can already see that the Lord is ramping things up, turning up the fire. But the ultimate fire that he's going to send upon these strange nations is the missiles. Matter of fact, this type of strange rains, man. There was one in Ezekiel. Because the strange nation is going to have to get strange rain, man. You know, um, please bear with me. Please bear me out, because at the end of the day, the Lord please bear me out. Yeah, that's what the Lord's going to send. These people have been doing strange things upon the planet Earth. Men with women, men with men, women with women, men with animals. All these different things is going to get cut off, man. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to get ready to show you the same thing that he did to Sodom and Gomorrah, the same thing that he did to Egypt, and it's going to be the same thing he's going to do to Babylon the Great. What's going to make this one different? It needs a great destruction, man. A great kingdom needs a great destruction. Here you go. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, 16 and verse 16. It says, "For the ungodly that denied to know thee were scourged by the strength of thine arm." Now you go into that word scourge. That word scourge is not talking about hugs and kisses. That word scourge, second definition, a person or a thing that causes great tribulation or suffering. That fire is going to be that suffering that the Lord is going to send upon these strange people with strange rains, hails, and the showers where they persecuted that they could not avoid. And it's like through fire where they consume, showing you that the ICBM nuclear missiles or the strange rains is going to be the same thing that the Lord is going to use to take out this strange kingdom. These people are weird. Niggas are, for lack of better words, don't have no type of social construct. They so used to the internet, they don't know how to live without it. You can't even have a regular, conversation with anybody, man. Especially, for those, weird people, especially a lot of the women, who was a part of that community. Let's go ahead and read this again. It says, "Lift up thine hand against the strange nations, let them see thy power." So again, that power is going to be through those strange rains, those ICBM nuclear missiles. "As thou wilt sanctify in us before them, so be thou magnified among them before us." And we are sanctified, set apart. And that's why we went through a certain judgment. It says in the scriptures that nothing that have been done in any other nation have been done to the nation of Israel. So now the Lord, he's going to magnify himself amongst you people, man. And how he's going to do that? By breaking down his great kingdom, but by also sending forth those missiles. It's the Lord who created these things. He just used Esau to push the button. It says, "And let them know thee as we have known thee, that there is no power, but only thou, O power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua." And that's what it's going to be at the end of the day, man. The Lord, he's going to get ready to knock down all the gods of Babylon. The God of the black woman is God, the God of do as thou wilt, YOLO. Everybody can be saved. All those things is going to get knocked down once the chariots and the missiles come. It says, "Show new signs and make other strange wonders." Yes, and those new signs is us being out there on the highways and byways, because there were new means refresh and make other strange wonders. Us being out on the highways and byways, they're strange unto you people. But we're on the highways and byways to send forth a certain message. Glorify thy right hand in thy right arm. So glorify thy hand in thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous works. The prophets are there warning you for the terrible times to come. But these people, they're not going to listen. They're going to pull away the shoulder and continue to do the BS that they love to do, the things that they know. And the only thing that they know is wickedness. Rise up, indignation, pour out wrath. How is that going to happen? Is that going to happen through hugs and kisses? No. That's going to happen through destruction. Take away the adversary and destroy the enemy. And the reason why the Lord is going to do it, because for years he has been getting off. For years, the Lord has been letting this guy run over a big tab of destruction. So when the Lord come down upon you, he have all reason to. It's not going to be nobody that can save Esau or these 2/3 of these strange people from the judgment the Lord have coming. You know, it says it's like um Sirach 16 and 11. It says, and if there be one stiff-necked among you, it is a marvel if he escaped unpunished. And that's it. Because again, a lot of these people have been like the time of the flood, marrying and drinking in marriage. You doing wrong and think that wrong is gonna, get you into the kingdom. No, that wrong is actually going to lead into you being punished, and the more wrong you do, the bigger your judgment is going to be. For mercy and wrath are with him. He is mighty to forgive and to pour out displeasure. So it's the doors open for Israel, man. Israel who have been going off, you know. The Lord said he's mighty to forgive. Even if you're part of that LGXYZ community, the Lord, he can forgive you if you repent. And it says, and to pour out displeasure. And if you don't repent, then displeasure will be shown upon you. As his mercy is, so is his correction. Yes. And the Lord, he correct you plenty of times, man. Everybody, I know the Lord correct you in a small way, he correct you in a big way, whether it be, you finna go and freak off or something, you stub your toe. That's a sign that you shouldn't go. I need to sit down. It says he judges a man according to his works. The sinner shall not escape with the spoils. Esau, he's not going to escape with Israel. He's not going to escape with the things he took in 70 AD. And it says, in the patience of the godly shall not be frustrated. So we shall see the destruction of Esau, man. We shall see the destruction of the so-called white man. All the taxes, times he got pulled over, times he got arrested, all these things is going to be worth it when the missiles come. That's why it says our patience is not going to be frustrated. Patience possess your souls. Make way for every work of mercy, for every man shall find according to his works, whether you wicked or you righteous. The Lord, Yahweh shall harden Pharaoh, that he should not know him. And that's how he did to 2/3 of our people in these strange nation. Basically, the Lord put the spirit upon the strange nation not to get into this truth, or not to glorify the Lord. Going back into the Jeremiah 9 and 24. So how the Lord harmed these people from blocking off the truth just so he can destroy them. It says that he should not know him, that his powerful works might be known his powerful works might be known to the world. So the reason why these people are not getting it, so they can glorify the Lord's name. And how would they glorify the Lord's name? By being destroyed here in these last days, man. Rightfully so. You had a chance to get right, but these people continually refuse to. Let's go ahead and get this in the book of Salakia. This is the book of Revelations, 17 and 5. It says, matter of fact, verse 4, it says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones, having a golden cup in her hands full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. We're talking about America, man. And why it's precious, got all these flashing lights. But the point, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations. Through the West, it's how these people continue to push forth that, adverse way of life. Now he's pushing forth over to the Middle East and all throughout the whole world. Now the whole world is sick with this disease that America is pushing forth. And that disease is talking about these philosophies. It's going to continue on. And upon her forehead was the name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. So America is the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth, man. So all the wickedness really come from this place. Everybody that do wickedness, they get it from the source. The source of wickedness, which is who? Esau, even the so-called white man. That's the fulfillment of Job 9 and 24. That Job 9 and 24 goes back into what? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And once the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah given into the hand of the wicked, what happened? Once Pharaoh was given the rulership of the planet Earth, what happened? Ramses II. Bad things started to happen. Let's go ahead and continue on. It says, And I saw the woman drinking with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And yes, it's going to be a time when Esau, he's going to pull up his tab even more for trying to, take out the believers of Yahweh. It says, and when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. So when John saw this place, he was starstruck, for the lack of better words, because no other kingdom have been like this place. And the angel said unto me, run unto this thy marvel. Why are you looking at this bride like this? Why are you looking at America like this is a place to be? Only reason why people look at it like it's something because of the technology, man. Again, a lot of the whole world is, most of the world is really third world, second world countries. They still have a sense of that ancient feel of living, whether you have to kill a cow to eat instead of you going to McDonald's again, your food like that, you have to sit down and wait. So this place is totally adverse into nature. Food don't supposed to be fast. You know what I'm saying? Something going on with it. Continuing on, and he says, and the angel said, why dost thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carried her to have 7 heads and 10 horns. Yes, and the mystery was, what's going to happen to her. Let's jump down. Let's go down to verse verse 16. Matter of fact, 16, it says, in the 10 horns which I saw upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate. So the ones that was allies with her, they say it's going to hate the whore and make her desolate, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Now, how is they going to eat America and burn her? No, America is going to be an altar. You know what I'm saying? It tells you in the book of Isaiah, the 34th chapter. Let's get that real quick. It's going to be an altar, man. And that altar is going to be able to burn, all the wickedness and the wicked people out of it. Let's get this. The book of Isaiah 34. Just going to get to the point. In verse 4, it says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heaven shall be rolled together as a scroll. It's talking about what? Missiles dropping upon this place, man. And the heaven rolled together as a scroll, they call it a mushroom cloud. And all the hosts shall fall down as the leaf that falls from the vine, and as a fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judge me. Going back to Jeremiah 9:24, that's one of the things that the Lord delighted in, the judgment of the wicked, man. So it's going to be a pleasing sight ask the Lord to destroy Babylon the Great. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood and is made fat with fatness. America is one of the most obese places upon the planet Earth. And with the blood of the lambs and goats and with the fat of kidneys of rams, for the Lord have a sacrifice in Basra and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. The land of Idumea today is America. Basra, which it was the capital city of Edom. The capital city of Edom today is America. But it says it's with lambs and goats and fat and kidneys of rams. It's talking about the people here, man. The strange nations who basically live in this spot. So you're going to get sacrificed with this spot. You love this place, so the Lord is going to make sure you die with this place, man. Let's get this Jeremiah 50. Let's start at verse 22. A sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction. Read this again. A sound of battle is in the land. That's us blowing the trumpet in a great destruction. We're telling you that this destruction that the Lord is going to bring is going to be way worse than the flood. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation amongst the nations? So the sword on the planet earth, how have it came down? Because the Lord have made this thing happen. I have laid a snare for thee. Thou art also taken, O Babylon, and that was not aware, because people are not aware of the true powers of heavens and earth, which you're going to be made aware very soon when those missiles drop. It says, thou art found and also caught because thou hast striven against the Lord. Yes, you have been adverse unto Yahweh Ba'al Shem Yahushua, and this is the reason why he will bring a great destruction. And the great destruction is well deserved for Babylon the Great. A great land deserves a great destruction. You know, a lot of wickedness, a lot of bullshit, and a lot of our people is stuck up in this way of life. So Yahweh by Hashem and Havasham is going to have to destroy this place in order for our people to get right, man, and let them, be born again in the kingdom of heaven. But we are trying to get on this first go round. Let's get this. Jeremiah 4:6 set up a standard towards Zion, retire, say not, for I will bring evil from the North America in a great destruction. The lion is come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. And this is why Esau is so scared, man. This is why he want to, for the lack of better words, make sure everybody gets saved. No. The Lord said he's a destroyer of the Gentiles. And we know that Yahweh shall he change not. Now, again, it's certain Israelites that's in a Gentile state of mind, but the ones that are part of the elect, they're going to come out that bullshit. It says, he is gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate through the missiles, and thy city shall be laid waste without inhabiting. And this is the best cleansing agent, man. Fire. So nobody will ever be able to, set up shop back again here in America. Now we're going to give it to Elon. No. It's just like Sodom and Gomorrah. You see Sodom and Gomorrah today, you can't tell where it started. You can't tell where it ended. But the only reason why people can tell that area was around, for lack of better words, because of the high sulfur, When you go into that area, it's heavily toxic. They can compare it to being hit with nuclear heat. So it's going to be the same thing going to happen here in the West. And again, it's well deserved. Why? Because the West is the most filthiest state upon the planet Earth. People mentally are sick and even physically. Niggas just throw shit on the side of the road. You go to a pond, nigga overfish. He took all the babies out. You know what I'm saying? Shit just sick here. And we can't wait until the Lord comes back and put everything into its righteous order, man. Let's go ahead and get this. This is the book of Isaiah 24:5. The earth is also defiled on the inhabitants thereof, Job 9:24. Who run the earth right now? The so-called white man. If that's not reasonable to you guys, whose currency on the planet Earth? Esau, the so-called white man, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. You strive to set up laws. You shouldn't have a man be with a man, and you did a lot of the Lord ways up. It says, therefore have the curse defiled the earth, and they that dwell therein are dead. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. That's going to take out a lot of people, man. Even they call it a nuclear fallout. That's going to take out a lot of people. It's going to be that's accordingly. Thus saith the scripture, bring him hither and slay them before me. Why? Because you didn't want to worship. Even and you see the great marvelous us coming back. Those down to Isaiah 24. Salakia. The earth is broken down, the earth is clean, dissolved, the earth is moved. Now that's talking about when the missiles hit this, the earth makeover. Earth is going to be bigger and way more beautiful. Why? Because the Lord is going to have to reset this place and put the righteous rulers in to show the whole planet Earth how to do it. And it's going to be, throughout the process of time, these nations love us just because we took us to see what happens when the right rulership. It says the and now people are drunk now.